11.5 Aromatic Compounds. Learn a little bit more about the benzene ring. Now, we did talk about benzene a little bit earlier in the chapter. It is classified as an aromatic compound. It has a ring of 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogens. It appears that it might be alternating double, single, double bonds. And so, it appears that way, so it appears if something with 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms, you might think it was that, but you could draw another structure that would be equal to this. Notice here in this case, this bond over here that was double is a single here. And so you could technically draw either of these structures here. So since we could technically draw either of them, we have this symbol of a double-headed arrow, which means resonance, which really means that the real structure is something in between this structure and this structure. And so, since the benzene has these 6 electrons shared equally among the 6 carbon atoms, and these 6 electrons are in an unhybridized p orbital, which is kind of a ring around it, like above the molecule or below it, then it really could be represented as a hexagon with a circle drawn inside. And actually, it's probably more accurate than the other representations. But this is why you will see this skeleton formula for the benzene ring used a lot. So here are some examples of aromatic compounds in nature and in stuff that we might enjoy. So vanillin, you put some vanilla in your muffin mix or whatever. We probably have taken an aspirin or 2 in our life, or ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Notice the benzene ring is a part of these different compounds. Well, please do not think, oh my God, no, everything is going to be carcinogenic. No. So just because benzene itself is carcinogenic, please do not think that if something has the benzene ring in it, that automatically qualifies for something that's carcinogenic, because that is not true. That is not valid. So let's look at some. You need to know the names of these. These names are not straightforward. I'll use the M word. You need to memorize these. This item right here is called toluene. Don't be tempted to call it something else. Call it toluene. This item here is aniline with our nitrogen group on here, with the OH that looks like an alcohol. Please don't call it some alcohol. It is called phenol. Notice the OL ending does represent this OH, the alcohol portion of it, but realize that the benzene ring with OH is called phenol. Now let's say what happens when we have more than one item attached to our benzene ring, how we're going to go about naming that. When 2 groups are attached to the benzene ring, the ring is numbered to give the lowest number to the side group. So this group right here, benzene ring with the CH3, is considered toluene. So we automatically are going to start our numbering right here as 1, but we don't have to say 1 because it's understood that it is going to be 1 because this is toluene. So 1, 2, 3. So our chlorine group is in carbon 3. You go, well, what if I had gone the other way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could I have said 5? Well, you could have said 5, but it would have been wrong. Why? Because 5 is a bigger number than 3. You're going to use that smaller number. You know that. So 3-chloryltoluene. Now, if we have 2 groups that neither of them are anything that's, it's just benzene with 2 groups on it, then we're going to start the numbering at one or the other. It doesn't matter, especially with this chlorine here. They're the same one, doesn't matter. So we'll start it at either one of these. So 1, 2, 3. 1,3-dichlorobenzene. Now notice here, this is our phenol group. So we're going to assume, and the assumption is that the 1, since we have another item on here, we're going to say, okay, everything is numbered from that. So 1, this is carbon 1, so this would be carbon 2. So that's all we have to say. It's 2-chlorophenol. We do not have to say 1-phenol because the numbering, it's automatic that it's going to start at that. So draw the structural formulas for each of the following. 1,3-dichlorobenzene or 2-chlorotoluene. All right, so let's see what it looks like. There we go. I'm hoping that that's what you got. So let's identify the organic family for each. Like, we've now learned about a whole bunch of different items, and let's see what this is. Okay, hopefully you recognize this, hopefully you recognize this, hopefully you recognize this, and hopefully you recognize this. So press pause, see if you can do this. All right, so you knew this double bond was an alkene. We know that this is a cyclic compound, so a cycloalkane. This triple bond is an alkyne, and our benzene ring is an aromatic compound. Now here's a concept map that talks about all the different items that we have been talking about in our chapter, which is, we have covered a lot of material.